It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch. Why are you staring at me? Can you hear?
No.
No?
I can barely hear.
Oh, that's weird.
So that's why I'm like just saying.
There we go.
There we go.
It got adjusted without me.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. We encourage you to come on out to Milberger's at 1604 on Bulverde Road and ask your gardening question in person. The Cub Scouts are here, and they're selling popcorn, so you can get some of that too and support them. But there's lots of beautiful plants, and or you can call us if you've got a question at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Let's see if we can't help you. Do we still want to do monarch reports?
Yeah, we haven't seen the mass fly through that we hope to see, but yeah, we were suspicious that was going to occur the last couple of days because we saw a lot of neighborhoods saw them, and then also here at Milberger's we saw them.
The other thing we need our rain rangers to call in and tell us what they got, just the amount of rain, and just call Al 210-308-8867. Yeah, I see that too. What is that? He almost got it. But yeah, so you said Bernie. Inch and a half?
Yes. A friend collected an inch and a half in Bernie.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
That sounds like real rain.
Yeah. Real honest goodness rain.
Yeah, this has just been teasing us.
Yeah. So I'm going to take that to mean that you didn't get much at your house. I got to check our rain gauge, but I don't know how much we got. So, yeah, call us in, 210-308-8867. Give the report. You can do it on the air, or just tell Al, and he'll send it to me. So 210-308-8867. And I have a theory that if I make something and I kind of use a recipe that Cappy kind of alluded to, that if it's on the air and I share it with you, that you can't insult me and go, ugh, this is horrible. So with that in mind.
How could you believe that?
Yeah, after all these years.
25 years, yeah.
Okay, so you remember your little Ruby Crushes?
Yeah.
Yeah, try one of those. This looks like these are roasted
pepper or something.
Don't they though? Here, take two.
We were suggesting a Provence spice or a little Italian spice.
Here you go, Trace.
Oh, those are good.
Did they come out good? I thought so too. Here, Trace, try one of these. These are from Calvin's Ruby Crushes. Yeah, so it's basically cut in half, and it's a little bit of. Should I make this like my secret recipe, or should I?
What did you?
You need some more salt.
More salt?
Yeah.
Okay.
A pinch more.
Pinch more salt? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yay. All right. People like them, but that could just be because we're on the air. But, I'll try one when we take a break again. But, yeah, they came strong.
I'll try one if you pass them this way.
Okay. I can let you do that.
Taste it again. We may have forgotten.
You forgot what it tasted like from about 30 seconds ago. Did you want one more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to say that.
It's certainly.
They are good.
It's certainly very easy to do. So now,
but you did put some kind of seasoning in it, huh?
Yeah, it's a little thyme or something.
No, it's actually just got
Mrs. Dash, maybe.
Nope. It's got tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil, and then you just let them roast.
A little salt?
A little salt, yes, sir. I did use, and it's Celtic salt. So if you taste that Celticness in it, that's what that is.
No, I had those last night.
What's that, Celtic?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Some pumpkin seeds.
Some was it what?
On pumpkin seeds.
Oh, that would be good.
On the
with
Celtic salt on the pumpkin seeds.
How do you make your pumpkin seed things?
Actually, Jamie was making it.
Okay. I delegated out, Milton, and to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. I'm glad you like them. I'll have some later. But, yeah, this is fun. So if you have some more tomatoes, send them my way. We'll try some different stuff.
I've started harvesting the big ones. And the tycoons are unbelievable. And the tycoons have moved ahead of the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds started ripening first, but both of those two varieties are really performing well.
We need to have another contest, kind of a poll. I'll see what I can do. Best rodeo tomato in the past 10 years. How old is Tycoon? Would it fit into that? Is Tycoon more than 10
close
years?
to 10 years.
Okay.
Because the commercial
I was
folks...
going to say 6, but I think I was right. All right.
The commercial folks started using it before we identified it as rodeo tomato.
If you had to vote best rodeo tomato in the past 10 years, of course, it would help to see the list, but I think Tycoon, if it's not number one, it's certainly top 3.
Yeah, right now, after this year, when a lot of the other varieties are having a little trouble, Tycoon, it's...
See, I think
I couldn't vote for anything.
It was nice because it was a little bit smaller, but nice uniform roundness on the Tycoon. That's if I remember correctly.
Very they do have a little point though when they're not, and they get very large, but they don't have a completely round shape.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of another one then. So, but the Tycoons, they get this round oval, shall we say?
Yeah, it's basically round, but it's not. But it is. If I'm correct in assessing, I'll check too and make sure that I'm not misidentifying it.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to be really doing well. Now one of my plantings is good. Basically wiped out from spider mites. The other one is untouched.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you remember? Which is which?
Which? Or
are the same species, just different certain circumstances?
Different. It's a different planting area. It's down lower in the yard. It's in those big half whiskey barrel size containers versus in the garden. But the same varieties, same tomato varieties. So that is strange. See, I wouldn't expect that. I would expect the ones in the containers to be much less prone to damage by spider mites. But these last 2 years, that hasn't been the case for me.
I'm just trying to remember. During the shows, I think the ones that get complimented the most from the full-size tomatoes are the Celebrity and Tycoon. And then I didn't even think about it because this is where it could, depending on how long it's been since we've had that. The fight could take place not between two big tomatoes, but between the Dwarf Cherry Surprise and the, of course, I don't think we can get that anymore, or the Tycoon.
We can't get the BH in
the 968. Oh, okay.
Which is, to me, the best.
It was the one that was my favorite, too. But, of course, I liked, they quite often tied when I was making taste tests on those two. But they were distinctly different.
Yes.
Different texture and different sweetness. Both of them are excellent, though. Good.
Yeah.
Easy to grow. And they would outperform. That's the one exception that hasn't been hurt much by spider mites is the Ruby Crush. So, yeah, there are some ways to reduce the spider mite problems with the varieties, but mostly I think it's where it is in the planting and what kind of history is there. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but it's fun because people. I'm hoping we'll get some calls and people won't be kind of shy, and we can make that one of the questions because people love. Man, they find a tomato they like, and they love it. I mean, they stick with it. They defend it. I'm probably okay. So here's another question: would you say tomatoes are people are most, at least in South Texas, are probably most passionate about tomatoes than say they're broccoli or cauliflower or lettuce or?
I think not just in South Texas.
You think it's all over?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
No, I have noticed it in South Texas and Central Texas.
I can only speak because that's where we are, but yes.
Yes, coming from Michigan, it was, important, but not as important as my green beans and broccoli.
Oh, okay.
But down here, it's tomatoes are everything.
So would you get in big arguments about your your broccoli and stuff that broccoli A is better than broccoli B, and people would get upset? You don't know what you're talking about.
No.
You've never even grown broccoli, have you?
No.
You don't know nothing.
No, it was Kentucky Blue and Great Lakes, and then Green Magic.
Oh, we have Green Magic down here. Don't we? Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
The memory fades. So.
Tomatoes are more challenging than a lot of those other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in Michigan, tomatoes would be more challenging because we'd certainly have a shorter period, and we'd have to have indeterminate rather than.
Oh, that's right.
So that I should say shorter period. What I meant was there's more opportunities for problems to occur. A late season frost or an early season frost. Tomatoes are subtropical plants. And as much as I love Michigan, it will never be subtropical.
Oh, no?
No.
I heard Bert moved there because of the weather.
Yeah.
He's like, it's nice and mild here, but I'll go to Michigan where it's tropical.
What is that consistent with those two Michigan teams? Didn't they lose 2 games? Yesterday?
Yesterday was a block day. U of M, Eastern Michigan, Michigan State. I don't know about Western Michigan, but yes, they all lost.
And the Gophers
heartily. Yes,
the Gophers got lucky, and
I tried to roast tomatoes.
They beat. Who did they beat? Now I can't.
Illinois. Illinois was favored.
Illinois, that's right.
Minnesota beat them.
And then the most exciting thing for me was that the Spurs won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Spurs they're like there's some hope that they're developing that potential that we've talked about a lot.
I like the old man, Mr. Paul. I think he's brought a lot of experience.
Oh, and Mary was here before we go to break. We can get butterfly reports, but someone who was here yesterday at 3:15, which I imagine you were too, about 3-ish, said there was a deluge of rain here.
Oh, we had a 5/8 of an inch fall on us really quick.
Wow. Within, what, we say 15, 20 minutes, 5/8 of an inch? That's a deluge.
Yeah, it was. It was like,
it's a little more than half an inch.
I couldn't believe it. I had to go duck for cover.
What is the latest on the monarchs? Now, we saw one yesterday.
I got a couple floating around here.
Yeah. Are we still getting eggs laid?
I don't see any more caterpillars at the moment.
But you got quite a variety. We've been watching
a lot of queens.
A lot of queens, and also the tiger swallowtails and the giant swallowtails.
Yeah.
Tiger swallowtail has been entertaining the 7-year-olds. There's like 4 of them walking up to it, and he the tiger swallowtail just waits till he gets real close, and then he cruises off, and the kids.
Yeah, I had to chase one little kid out of the butterfly garden who was chasing butterflies.
Yeah,
I was like, no, not what the butterfly garden's for. They need
Very
this
cool.
place to nectar.
Yeah, well, that's not as bad as having to chase them out of the pumpkin area, you know, when they're throwing pumpkins at each other.
So we still have milkweed, right? Is that what I see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Tropical.
The tropical milkweed.
It's
and-
beautiful.
Yeah.
Full blooms.
And but what do you recommend for now for winter and fall color for a butterfly attracting garden?
Well, I think you let the all-star plants, like mistflower and zinnias,
Okay.
and lantanas and everything go as long as they can.
Right, and then when the zinnias poop out here, and
Which they are doing.
they're doing, I'm going to be planting pansies because I always have the variegated fritillary butterfly that's a host plant for it.
Oh.
And so I raise a lot of variegated fritillary butterflies on those pansies.
That's cool. I saw in the ad, because the pansies are on sale, it said butterfly attractor, and I was like, oh, cool. So
Stocks are not bad either as a
Those stalks are beautiful.
attracting.
They smell great, too.
nectar sources.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Hey, there's a little guy with their color. I don't know if it's a queen or a monarch.
It's a monarch.
Yeah, it looks.
Oh, it is?
Looks like.
It's on the lantana right now.
Yeah. Slow, it's got kind of that deliberate movements of a monarch for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a monarch.
All right. Thank you, Mary. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, and toll free, it's 866-308-8867. Since we're talking about good food, you like to serve your family the best, you need to make a trip over to Prusky's Market on Highway 87, where you will find the best meats that you can get for your family, plus rubs, plus terrific information. I like to promote the Yanta beef because it is all natural, and I know that's important to a lot of people right now. So it's an all-natural beef, no hormones, no antibiotics, but there's all kinds of great stuff from lamb to pork to chicken to the sausage that you can enjoy. It's freshly made right there at Prusky's, and there's the kashushko. Did I do that right this time? Kashushko.
How are you going to, speaking of Prusky's, how are you going to cook your sausage, Mark? Are you going to boil it, or are you going to roast it?
I think I'm just going to low pan fry it a little bit. So,
yeah,
yes.
We're air fryer people for the sausage.
I know.
And that works out pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you get the same kind I did, or did you get
I got different ones.
Polish sausage?
Yeah, we got different. You and I got different ones.
Okay.
Yeah. After y'all were arguing about between the Vikings and the Lions, I couldn't give you the same potato sausage. But all right. But anyway, so down Highway 87. Between 410 and 1604, you'll find it. Terrific people, terrific information, pinwheels, all kinds of great stuff. Have some fun. Head on out to Prusky's. They close today at 5. And you can find more at pruskysmeatmarket.com and find out about how they can help you with that Thanksgiving meal you have coming up. And they can make it easy as pie. They might even have the pie there at Prusky's. So give them a...
It's not easy. Pie is not always that easy.
I know, but Prusky's makes pie easy as pie.
Didn't you get involved in a controversy with pie cooking at one time?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It's because there was a lack of instructions, and yes, I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, and somebody brought it to your attention that when the pie started on fire, that it had been in the oven too long.
That was a good advice.
Yeah, it was fair. Yeah.
All right, PruskysMeatMarket.com.
Yeah, please.
PruskysMeatMarket.com.
They're fantastic.
We're going to take a break and come back in just a moment. 210-308-8867. We are looking for Rain Ranger reports. How much rain did you get last night, or maybe in the past couple days? How much? We're also looking for your favorite tomato.
And we can talk about the flowers, too. We talked about the veggies so far. But
all right, we'll talk about more in a moment on Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number 210-308-8867. 210. Do you want to? Oh, 210-308-8867 and toll free 866-308-8867. Although I don't think you have to worry about toll free anymore. I think that reference kind of dates me. But if you have a landline and you want to call us toll free, yeah, I think Blanco Joe used to call us on the 800 number. But anyway, all right, 210-308-8867. Looking for rain reports. Do you want to share with her one of the things and see how I did?
Yeah.
Okay, here, you can.
She's very good at
all right. The rain reports from last night, monarch reports, if you've got one. And, just call us, and we can hold off on the tomato things because it's really not. Are we we're at the end of the season rather than kind of the beginning, right?
No, on the big fruit, we're at the beginning of the harvest.
Oh, okay.
Well,
right.
And the Ruby Crush is just continuing to produce. I didn't.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I could have filled another one of those containers like we've been bringing here to the.
No, and Al is saying that he had rain at his house yesterday, but not last night. So we kind of had rain here when we left during the day, but yeah.
But it was just a spittering and sputtering.
Yeah, it was like a heavy mist. It fell on you, but yeah. So.
But then by the evening, if the sun came out, then everything was dried again.
When I was in Seattle.
Yes, when you were in Seattle.
I created the term mizzle.
Mizzle?
Mizzle. It was more than a mist,
but less than a drizzle. Okay, I like that. Do you want to see if that can catch on here?
Yeah, I keep trying.
Okay.
I don't have very good luck.
So
there were other slogans, and I saw us to adopt, and they never adopted any of them.
So, Mark, would you say we had a mizzle last night here?
Wait a minute.
No.
Here or at my place?
Would you say
I would say I had a mizzle at my apartment.
Would you say we had a plethora of rain? No,
I would say no, a cornucopia.
Okay, a cornucopia of rain.
At 3.
Okay.
But only at 3.
All right, so we want your rain reports at 210-308-8867. What else is going on?
Well, all these, it's worth a trip to Milberger's just to see the displays of the blooms.
Mm-hmm.
The cyclamen are unbelievable, and there's about 16 tables of all the colors that are available to look at. They're on sale too. Then if you look to the next set of tables, that's decorated with pansies and snapdragons.
Yeah.
And then the third one, it's got some of the vegetables that Mark has been talking about, but also has more flowers.
Yeah.
Some of them are not in bloom yet. It depends on how you plant. Yeah. A lot of times it's easier to plant flowers that are not in bloom because they're not especially snapdragons. They're not as top heavy then, and they also do not require. It's not as hard to get the moisture into the roots and into the tops, but with this kind of weather, like we're seeing now, that's not a major problem. But if it was continuing to be 90 degrees and very dry, then you would be challenged to make sure your snapdragons made it. Pansies are not a problem, but they're looking good. All kinds of different colors.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, actually, it's on both sides of the area. We have a couple tables on one side to the left of your radio dial, and then a couple on the other side. All different kinds of pansies.
We have a rain report from Dan on the line at 210-308-8867. Dan, what part of the world are you in?
Out on Bernie Stage Road, out towards Bernie, towards the north end of Bernie Stage Road. We got
Okay.
44 points.
44, did you say? Point 44?
points.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And a friend of mine over in Pipe Creek, I think he's on Bear Creek, he showed me a picture of his gauge. It was over 2 inches.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's
that's
kind of
farming
perfect.
right through
I
there.
like that. Yeah.
And I just wanted to add one more thing for your listeners out there. You can go to Coco Rajas, that's COCORAHS.org, and it's got like over 10,000 reports a day.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
out with rain gauges and snow gauges. And so anybody from Michigan can check the snow.
What is the website again?
Coco.
Coco Rahas.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Our crack eye team is
Yeah, I'm
on
looking
there
for
right
community collaborative rain, hail, snow.
now. Oh, cool.
Network.
So I could see what's going on back in West Michigan if I wanted to later on.
All right,
Yeah, you can
so
click
Well,
on
you don't.
that first map that
Bird will
comes up
just
on the
call you
phone,
and give you a report.
and then you go to the county.
Uh-huh.
all right, let's
You
see.
zoom
So
in.
where do I go first? Counties?
There's a map right there in the top with a bunch of dots on it.
I see that. Okay. Click on Texas.
Click on that.
Okay.
Then you can use your mouse to zoom
Oh, okay.
and go wherever you want to go in the United States.
All right. Cool.
Pretty good.
Thank you. That's fun. It's fun to get the
yeah.
reports too, though. I like when the
I
listeners
know
call.
y'all want people to call, and I understand that. but
Nah, it's just kind of fun. Kind of makes
that's
it
good for during the week.
okay.
You
Yeah.
wanna see how much rain you got back home?
I don't. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I don't think this works on the weekend, does it? Between noon and 2, I think it's broken. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're right. I don't
Okay.
think of it.
I don't think. Man, well, now the interesting thing in looking at the map, it looks like the rain pretty much does not go south of. I'm guessing that's. What is it that goes through downtown? Now I'm blanking on it, but is that 35?
Yeah.
35,
Yeah.
281, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it doesn't really go through there because or nobody's reported it there. But yeah, lots of blue dots, dark blue dots, all up there and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Thank
Yeah,
you,
it went
sir.
up kind of west of Bear County and then over through Bernie and a big cloud if you're watching radar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you enjoy your show. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to save this.
Thank you very much.
All right. 210-308-8867. Another reason why I like it when our callers call in and participate in the show.
I like it when
Yeah.
when customers come with and fill their wagons.
Yeah, look at
and
that.
then they have to get more vehicles so that they can get all the plants they want. You got the good news is here at Milberger's you got several different kinds of vehicles to cart the plants around, and you can you can change your mind and get more plants and more wagons or those like the supermarket. What do they call
That's
it?
the one I like because I don't have to bend down so far.
Oh, okay.
So
You let you haul about double the amount. And it's showy too. That helps make your decisions about how it's going to look in your landscape.
All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Okay, dumb question. If I am going to plant for pollinators, I know there are certain plants for certain pollinators. Are colors preferred by some? Because, we've had that with a porterweed. Is it the color that's preferred, or the one is just kind of different from the other?
Well, the colors are they have made done research projects, and colors are determine the traffic that some flowers get. Zinnias, they've identified what I think the cream color and the orange and the pink, but they're the pollinators find the all-star nectar plants.
They just
despite the color.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I was thinking of different colors. Now the one that we talk bright red is not necessarily a favorite color, but on the porterweed, you can't tell that if you're watching the porterweed because everything finds its way to the porterweed because of that potent nectar that they have and favorite nectar.
Now some insects favor different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm watching down here and seeing the prairie coneflowers, I see that the monarchs
they
and
like
other
that.
butterflies like that shape, that kind of oval, rounded shape.
Yeah, what is that
and
butterfly
I know
on that one?
lantanas are like that as well.
Is that a monarch on the coneflower right there?
I don't know. I can't see that far.
You can see it right
No,
there.
I can't. I'm blind as a bat. You know that.
Calvin, can you see that far? Straight up the row?
It's on one of the orange coneflowers.
I can see the coneflowers, but I can't see the caterpillar. I mean the
butterfly.
There it is.
Wings,
Okay, yeah.
Wings are
Same color as the coneflower.
But
But what is it? Is that a monarch?
yeah.
Yes? Oh, cool.
Mary's monarch, I believe, unless we got the queen has moved in.
I think Mary's going to hunt that down and take a picture.
But now, if you look out in front of us with all these lantanas, Cuffia, the blue plumbago, the salvias, and the milkweeds, that little patch of coneflowers, as popular as it is and as high as it rates in terms of a nectar producer, it would be hard to tell that it is any better or any worse than any of these because these get a lot of attention, and it depends on the time of the year, and it depends on how new the plants are to the area and what the weather's like.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard that too from our not direct evidence. We didn't hear a lot of commitment to direct evidence, but our monarch authors, indicated that in terms of nectar sources, have a few choices there, and expect the response to be different based on what time of the year, what the weather is, and all those other factors. Now, of course, consistently, the tropical milkweed is a favorite, and that is one of the problems with it, is because if it is a problem plant.
I think she's trying to take a picture of the butterfly. That one's pretty docile, too. It doesn't seem to be as flighty.
It's obviously very hungry.
Very hungry? Oh, okay.
Or it's on the end of its life.
Oh. Just sad now, Calvin.
It could be. It could be. It doesn't look like it's up for a 600-mile trip to Mexico City, does it?
Maybe, because it has spunk. It's going to do it. I have faith in that little guy.
Spunk?
Spunk. It's like
I hate spunk.
It's the.
You have to be old enough to remember that.
Yeah, it's the Rudy of butterflies. All right.
Hey, as long as we're talking butterflies
I know,
before
it's all
we
about
forget.
Your course.
On the 9th, our last program of the season, the Monarch and Milkweed class is going to be taking place at the SAC, at the Sinkin Center. What is it called? Eco Central. It's at 1802 Main out over there, so relatively easy to find.
Now, Calvin, what if, I can't go during the day? Why don't y'all do these like at night, like around 6?
We're going to try that.
Okay, what?
6 p.m. this one.
It's at 6, yeah. That's
6 p.m.
That opens up to a lot of people that maybe can't. Well, they could come on the weekends, but yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try it. And our friends at Gardening Volunteers of South Texas are co-sponsoring the program, and they wanted to try the 6 p.m. timeline too. But we'll have basically the same lecture about monarchs, and we'll try to review what we've learned over the last 3 years through our classes and our work together on the growing native milkweeds. So everybody that does come will get. I think we're going to have enough for 3 flats.
Okay.
Or 3 containers of milkweeds for them. At least one of them will have growth, and maybe 2 of them will. And so we'll want the attendees that take responsibility for the milkweeds to be willing to report any new germinations that occur, and also if they decide to transplant, how things turn out on the transplanting. That's one of the questions that we have. It's easy, relatively easy. We figured out what germinates easiest and how to germinate it, but now we're trying to figure out how do we get it transplanted from those containers to the garden, to the backyard, and to other places where the monarchs can take advantage of it. So if you want to participate in that, please attend. You can give us a call at 210-382-4455.
That's 210-382-4455. And I'll send that back to Al.
Yeah, and in a pinch, show up at 6 p.m. There at the Eco Center on the 1802 Main Drive. Is that what it is? Main?
Yeah, Main Avenue. Main Avenue.
Main and Locust.
Yeah. 4455?
That's it.
Okay, 210-382-4455. But Al has it now back at the station, so you can call that number right this second and make a reservations right now, right this minute.
And the class is free, class is free, and the 3 containers of seeded milkweed is free too.
All right. 210-308-8867. We will be right back while you call that number and make your reservation at 210-382-4455. But 210-308-8867 is our number. More Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. She's enjoying the butterfly. Coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Dallas, Fort Worth, San Angelo, Houston, Austin, or El Paso. I gotta go. I got Texas in my soul.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. And we got Ray on the line. Ray, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. What you know, Ray?
Thank you. Got 3 real quick questions. Last year I bought a celebrity tomato, yielded like crazy. And in the wintertime, I brought it in the garage, and it lived, and I've got it now back out, and it's huge top. And it's 3 feet high, balloons like crazy, but the center of the blooms turn brown, it just drops off. Has not yielded a tomato at all. Is it not supposed to do that? But, I brought it back out.
Say that again.
Yeah,
now.
You broke up right when you were telling us what was happening.
You should leave it in full sun. You should. I mean, if I heard right, you're moving it out of the open air into the garage.
What I heard was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it was really good last year. You wanted to save it over the winter, and you wanted to bring it back out for this year.
Yeah. Well, that is been the research and has been reinforced a lot of years, that the second year of the production is never matches the first year. So
okay.
You're better off by planting new plants in the spring and then new plants in the fall, even.
Okay. It blooms like crazy. It's 3 feet high. It's grown, but the center of the blossoms turn brown and fall off. It has not made one tomato this year at all.
Yeah, that's a typical pattern.
Okay.
And I've got Ruby Crush, which I've had great luck with the new ones. But I kept one from the spring because it was my kind of a favorite plant. I had it up near in the patio, but that same pattern I saw, blooms everywhere, size, but and it's producing a little bit, but not anywhere near what is being produced by the new plants in the garden.
Okay, that makes sense. I have two real short other questions. I called you guys about 3 weeks ago about an avocado seed that it was split when I opened it up. It's got roots coming out. I put it in water with the 3 toothpicks, and now it's starting to come up. Looks like it's going to start to make some leaves and things. At what point do I plant it in dirt? Do I leave it in there until I get like 4 or 5 inches of roots, or what? What point?
Yeah, you can do it anytime. It's up to you, but
okay.
Yeah, you're going to reach a maximum where you go, I got to get this in the ground.
Okay.
And then it's also for ease of planting too. You don't want a huge root system on that.
Right.
Okay. So it's kind of, it's one of those things where in the next couple of weeks where you go, yeah, I got some time. Let me just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Now, you'll need to protect it over the winter.
Sure. Oh, I do. I do get a lot of plants I bring in and out. The last question, real quick, too. I've got a cutting of a plant, cannot remember the name of it. Beautiful, beautiful red flowers. And I've got it in a bucket full of Miracle Grow. Is it better to use root stimulator and put it in dirt, or just let it, maybe a take under this Miracle Grow liquid?
What is it?
Yeah, he's got a plant. He's got some. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. You keep cutting. You got a cutting, and you got it in. What'd you say?
A pitcher of Miracle Grow liquid.
Oh, just a pitcher of it.
Yes.
Not a picture. A pitcher, Milton. A pitcher.
Pitcher.
Yeah, liquid.
A pitcher.
Yeah, liquid. Yeah.
So generally, the rule of thumb is, no, you want it in a perlite or perlite and sand mix, something like that, initially.
Okay, but the Miracle Grow won't cause damage. It might take.
I don't know what it will do.
It's hot.
Okay.
On a lot of species, it's difficult to transition between that the root development and the liquid to a root that is capable of dealing with soil.
Particularly when you have all those nutrients and salts and vitamins, and it's just like it's kind of easier on the plant to transition when there's not a lot of that there.
So you're saying not to do that, just to go ahead and plant it in soil?
I would take it out of there and put it in a pot of perlite.
Okay, give it a little dose of root stimulator and then put it in the perlite?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys, so much. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, Ray.
Talk to you later.
Ray, did you get any rain?
And just enough to smear the bugs on the windshield.
Oh, so you got a mizzle?
A mizzle.
You got a mizzle, it sounds like.
Yeah.
We're trying to get that word to catch on, Ray.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. I don't know if it's an insult or what, but I'll take it.
It's not a mist, not a drizzle.
That's sometimes it's kind of hard to tell with us.
Yeah.
I know. I listen to you guys for years now. Thank you,
Ray.
So much.
You take care.
Ray.
Bye-bye. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, the number to call. So just letting you know, speaking of rain, today, 20% chance of showers before 3, so another 2 hours. And then 20% chance of showers tonight after 3 a.m. The low tonight, 74. Tomorrow, chance of showers before noon, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms between noon and 3 p.m. But chance of precipitation is 50%.
When?
Oh.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. New rainfall amounts. I'm going to try to sound really kind of up about this. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch. Expect higher amounts possible in thunderstorms. But tomorrow evening, chance of rain 60%. That's good.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does it looks like we have Thursday, and it looks like Wednesday it picks up again. Thursday, 40% chance. Thursday night, 30% chance. So, Mark's looking at me like,
I'm
yeah.
just like,
what do you want?
well, the latest weather reports indicate a greater amount than 0.
Yeah. Okay. So that's according to National Weather Service. So anyway, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Now, what else we got going on
Well,
in
it
the
looks like
gardening
they're
world?
preparing the display areas for the freeze.
Yeah.
But
Is there a freeze per
no,
Yeah.
but they're going to be ready when it does occur.
When it does that, yeah.
January or whatever. But
Okay, so which
we've
brings-
learned they've obviously learned our lesson that you never know when it's going to come, and you better be ready for it.
Well, and that's where I was going to go. So if Millburgers is getting ready for it, it's going to freeze probably. Historically, as Trey says, it has. What are some of the things you could do right now before we go to break that you should be doing to...
Well, it's easier to find your cloth and your the things you're going to cover. If you're going to make any frames, which really makes it much easier and much more effective to protect. You mount your agricultural fiber on frames, and so you basically make a tent. That's much more effective. And also, though, it's not something you can do in the last half hour before the freeze game.
No, that's what I was saying. Is that's very good, Milton. Is you have to know, you have to have your cords, you have to have where your outlet's going to be.
Good point.
You have to have your blankets or your frame extra blankets. I said that. You just got to be prepared.
And one of the real keys, especially, I was looking at the wind that's coming up right now. You have to be able to secure the fiber and whatever you're using to cover the plants from the wind. And last year, that was a real. Even if you had a very elaborate and temporarily effective covering for your plants, if you had to, you're dealing with 2 or 3 days, and then the wind will pull things apart and open up the tents, and it won't make any difference how good it was 2 days ago because the cold weather is there. Danger killing the plant. So you want to think about that. You want to have whatever you use, something heavy or pieces of log or rock or bricks. Bricks are nice because they're heavy and they're square, and they have a tendency to stay put where you put them. So think about that. Yeah, especially if you got if you got citrus, that's one of those big. Or you got cyclamen. Cyclamen, the good news about cyclamen is that you basically just have to, in most freeze situations, you just have to cover it. If it's below 30 degrees forecast, you just cover it, and it's usually pretty secure. Pansies generally you don't have to.
Yeah,
and pansies manage to live through it, but citrus is the one that we really have to watch out for.
I was trying to see. Wow, okay. On Wednesday, the high is 79. The high is 75 on... Yeah, so it's starting... That's great to have a high... And then Thursday, it's 82. But the lows in the 60s, and then... Poor Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry I brought it up.
No.
It's okay.
The 79 is good. That's my moving day. So
that's your what? Your moving
day. I'm moving to a new place.
All right. So that'll be nice and comfortable. Yeah. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Ooh, what's that? Wait,
giant swallowtail.
Is that the swallowtail? Is our monarch back on the coneflowers? No, he's gone. I was going to try to take a picture.
He's still there. He's on the far right.
He is?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll go run and take a picture while we get everybody caught up with the news. 210-308-8867. I see him. 210. Let me get my camera ready. 210-308-8867. We've got more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Right after we get you caught up with the news on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Boulevardy Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson and Dr. Calvin Finch. And we're live here at Milberger's at 1604 and Boulevardy Road. And we encourage you to come on by and visit with us and see all the beautiful plants. And there's lots of folks. It's fun watching people choose the plant they want. But, yep, you can call us and we'll get a rain report, tomato report. What was the other one? Oh, a monarch report. Oh, I'm going to show you something on the picture I just took. He's missing part of his wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean?
That means he's on his last leg. I don't think she's going to make it to the...
Oh.
She's probably laid eggs.
Can we get it to the vet?
Huh?
It's not gonna.
Well,
you want to see my?
You don't want to bring it to. Don't bring it to Lulu's attention.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, that's sad. You want to see the sad? It's a beautiful picture, but it's missing part of its wing. It's on their coneflowers.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see it. I see it.
It's okay.
The missing part.
Well, Trace is obviously up here with us. Hi, Trace.
Hello, sir.
What's going on?
Just making it through the day.
Well, that's a good idea.
Nice and cool.
Yeah, didn't though?
Yeah, little breeze.
And we were pointing out that it looks like you're preparing everything for cold weather coming historically sometime.
It does historically come.
Yes. And so it also appears that so with that in mind, we told people that maybe they should start thinking about preparing their own gardens and what they have.
Not a bad idea. Tuesday I'm going to be setting up my greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
What
does that mean?
It means I'm going to be setting up my greenhouse at home.
Okay.
So I can put all those big plumerias in it.
Oh, wow.
So that I don't have
that's right.
So I don't have to haul them in the house.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
So the advantage of that is that you're kind of, no matter what the weather's doing, when it's unpredictable like this, they're in the greenhouse, they're happy.
Well, I'll put the greenhouse up. I won't put the plants in there until later. I wanted to put the plants first and build the greenhouse over it. My wife told me no, so she won.
Okay. Okay.
She doesn't realize that these plants are wider than the door. So we're going to have to break some to get them all in there.
Well, plumeria, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
Not at all.
I think this young man has a question. Did you have a question?
Would you like to donate for Reese Across America?
Say what?
Oh, there he's pointing out the fact that the Cub Scouts are selling popcorn and stuff, so you can come out here. Yep, so we'll announce it on the radio, okay? Thank you, man. All right. 210, so they're out here, and they're taking donations. He pointed that out. So
I think they're selling wreaths, too.
Oh, they're selling wreaths? Oh, why did I think just popcorn?
I don't think they're selling popcorn. I think they're
just
selling wreaths for cemeteries.
So Veterans Day is coming up next week.
Oh, that's right.
Or the following
week after, yeah.
And so that'd be great. No, not traditionally they sell popcorn. So
I think you can actually purchase a wreath, and then they go pick a veteran to put it on.
That's cool.
That's my understanding of the situation.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, what are some things that people can do to start preparing for themselves? You're doing your greenhouse. Mark has something. Oh, and then Mark had a thing he wanted to point out, something in an article.
No. This first thing is So I have always forgotten what the material that we sell here.
Oh.
Now I remember it's Glueck or Insulate or something
Well,
like
I think
that.
the brand name is Insulate, and it's just a fairly thick white cloth that allows some moisture and some air penetration, so it doesn't get scalding hot underneath it if you forget to take it off. But you should always take it off, Milton. You can't leave a plant covered for a month.
Oh.
And it's unlike plastic. The cold does not travel.
We want
through
plastic. We would prefer the Insulate, unless it's well above the plastic.
And multiple layers.
And it lasts for several years if you take care of it, for sure.
And you can put it in the washer if it's not too big a piece.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Put it up in a pillowcase or something if it's a big piece.
But the key, because you've brought this out last year, I remember, the big key is to get stuff now to plan while...
Be prepared now, because if you wait till it's cold and windy to do it, it's a whole lot harder to get it accomplished.
Yeah, it's not something you can accomplish in the last half hour before the cold weather.
And often we don't have a consistent warning of that. It's more like this Thursday we're expecting, and then this Thursday could be, and then all of a sudden, boom.
And the weatherman's never right, so you have to be prepared. In the old days, we used to use Halloween as the guideline. You need to be prepared.
Oh, by Halloween?
By Halloween, because we have froze on Halloween before.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't happened often, but it has happened.
Yeah.
Well, and Thanksgiving is, I guess the middle of November is when we usually get our
usually
first
we
freeze.
think about the third week of November is our target date. So get everything prepared, because historically that's when the freeze date. Somewhere around there.
And of course, if you're not prepared when you go to buy whatever, everybody else is. It's like a horde running in here. So we sell tons of it very fast.
You brought up a good point too. You don't have to leave everything out in the garden. Although a lot of those plants that are in containers, like you talked about your plumeria, they need to be put away. Oh, like bougainvillea and those. When the temperatures start consistently being 40 degrees, they should be put into some shelter, and then you don't have to worry about them the half an hour before the freeze gets here.
Okay. What else can people be doing, thinking about as it relates to the weather and winter coming?
Well, you gotta enjoy all the beautiful plants too.
Yeah.
So their warm weather annuals will be gone soon. So if they want color, for sure, I'll say on like Thanksgiving or Christmas, they need to change out to a cool weather plant where they're not having to scavenge really quick to make the front of the house look nice for company.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
So what are some choices
Trace will
that
probably
you recommend?
be happy, because I started this morning pruning and pulling all my whopper begonias so that I could plant my cyclamen. Yes, and that's one of those tough decisions you got to make, because the
begonia probably looked pretty good.
Huh?
The begonias probably looked pretty good.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not something you can, it's not something you can do a half an hour before the cool weather gets here. So you want to be ready, and you want to take advantage of the cyclamen, the sale, and the plants looking good, and
availability,
transplanting easily right now when they're this kind of condition. So you those are some of the neat, tough decisions you have to make when you're do some serious gardening.
And let's see, anything in terms of, so when does that winterizer window close? For winterizer fertilizer.
Oh. Well, I don't...
does it close? Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, well, it probably technically does. I suppose Thanksgiving would be...
Okay.
Yeah. That would be the last that I would do it.
Yeah.
So,
and that depends. If we get cold, cold enough for the Bermuda to go to sleep, it doesn't make any sense to feed the grass that's already asleep.
Yeah. Now, your San Augustine grass is not as inclined to go to sleep as the
takes
Bermuda.
longer for it to go dormant. So we still have an opportunity for it to absorb the nitrogen.
But you're not sacrificing anything. Your fertilizer, your winterizer will store, and if you that's one of the advantages too. If you use 1959, is it's slow release, so you get it lasts through to the spring. What about the trees, Mark?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What about them?
Yeah, he brought this up yesterday, but we talked about there's two areas of thinking there. Do you fertilize, is it best to fertilize in the fall or in the spring?
Yes. So, Trace is right. Yes. Into further detail. So we like to do something like 1959, slow release, the latter part of October, first part of November, so that the tree roots in the south never really go dormant, so that it will be absorbing the nutrients throughout the year. However, you could use a winterizer a little bit earlier, and then again in the spring. So it doesn't matter which you use, but the timing will determine what you use.
And a lot of gardeners would prefer to use an organic, and the timing there is important too.
It is important. You would use it a little bit earlier in the year, because
it's got a good month to break down to where anything can be used.
Yeah. So that's why for the winterizer and the 1959, we're trying to get it in the middle of October. So if you use an organic, you are applying it way before that.
Cool. I like the, of course, 1959 is my favorite, this slow release.
Well, I like to mimic nature, and mimic nature is a slow release process.
It's a special bargain. The winterizer, to me, looks like a special bargain because you get about half the price for the same amount of nitrogen.
So, I mean, that was our perspective, or the schools of thought in the last millennia, were, early spring or fall, and they kind of just said, just much like Trace just said, yes. Said, in other words, both are okay. There's one other outstanding school of thought that said, don't do it until May. Dr. Shiga. And so I sometimes go, yeah, why not? A little bit in May as well. A little dab will do.
Okay.
But none of these are a lot. You are applying what's on the label, or maybe a little less. Certainly never more than what's on the label.
Yeah.
Which results in what we call the big dead zone in the Caribbean, or in the Gulf of Mexico, rather.
Oh. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Do you want to get into your topic now, or you want to wait until
how much
come
time
back
I
from
got?
break?
I'm going to be real
5 or
quick.
6 minutes.
Oh, okay, good.
Take your time.
So in yesterday's newspaper, as we all read about Calvin's article, they had an article on the front, and a young person from a tree care company, and he was talking about dead giveaways of zombie trees. Now, we use zombie trees when we talk about trees after like a place has been clear cut and there's like 4 or 5 trees left standing, and we call them zombie trees because they're dead. They don't know it yet. However, I disagreed with some of the stuff in that article.
Okay.
Strongly disagreed. So, one, it's 12 months too late. Should have been done in October of last year.
Oh.
That's when we started seeing all these trees dying from drought and hypoxylon. And he gives the new name of hypoxylon, which I won't even pronounce.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. But they failed to point out that all the trees where he's talking about that had the hypoxylon and were dying were red oaks, pecans, sycamores. In other words, trees that really need more water. Obviously, we're in a drought.
Yeah.
And so those trees should have been given by humans more water in their yards.
But you said a year ago.
Yeah, it should have been a year ago.
Okay.
That's when we first started seeing it. But what really got my goat? Sorry, Devlin. He says, quote, unless rainfall amounts return to normal soon, as many as 95% of all trees in San Antonio are or could become zombie trees, according to Jess. Oh, it's Jess. I'm sorry. Jess Diven. And I'm like, really? 95% of the trees are going to die in San Antonio? Even in the 50s, we didn't have that much.
Oh, wow.
With 50s, we had probably less than 45% that mortality.
Okay.
In 2011, the U.S. Force, or my former employer, the Texas Forest Service, we determined per state it was about 11 to 15% total.
Oh, okay.
So this nonsense of 95% is okay. That's it. That's all I'll do. I'll just say nonsense.
Okay.
But
what characterizes something becoming a zombie tree?
It's like a tree that is dead technically, but it still has green leaves. It's still, it looks like there's no harm to it. It may have one or two dead branches, but those dead branches could fall, or parts of these live branches could fall. So it's an air quote zombie tree. The tree's not dead all the way. It's just it is on its way, and it's in what we call the decline spiral, and it's way at the end of the spiral.
Well, and then it's got some characteristics that are very noticeable, and that are kind of drastic when you see those hypoxylon infected trees with
that's
layered
one.
bark and everything.
So
it's when you see the movies with zombies in it, that's that kind of the bark situation to me resembles the way that the zombie person is characterized in the movie. And his
with the gray ashes.
So it's weird
color.
Okay.
So that's the same thing. Yeah, Calvin makes a good point there. So I'm like, I'm glad they pointed it out. I know the author. I might just drop him a line.
No, I think you should.
And I said, no. Once again, it was too late. We should have been talking about this in October 23, November 23. That we're all of a sudden starting to see mini trees die. But, yeah.
Okay, now, one more thing. Yeah, I know. So, now, we get calls a lot of times on when things like oak wilt. Is it oak wilt? Is it oak wilt? And they're just panicked.
Yeah.
So, is there some way to tell if you've got a zombie tree or not? Because the hypoxylon, because that's the gray ashy thing and stuff. But And
they correctly pointed to the fact that is a stress-related disease, among other stress-related pests.
Okay.
Cell borers. That is when a stress tree, or when the tree is becoming a stress, they will have hypoxylon, they'll have high borers, they'll have other other diseases.
Even the freeze damage.
Oh yeah,
and I guess the drought damage is more as part of the preliminary to the other stresses or related to the other stresses.
That's why we call the predisposing, contributing, and inciting factors, or the other way around, inciting and contributing. as part of the spiral. These all happen as the tree becomes more and more stressed, more and more factors are involved. And so if you think your tree is getting stressed, so what would that be? Early leaf drop, discoloration of the leaves, hypoxylin, probably not branches falling, but could be.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point in time, in our toolbox, water.
Okay.
Then mild fertilization.
So
removal of deadwood. All those types of things.
Is this one of those expressions or where when is the best time to water?
Yeah,
yesterday. Last year, however.
Yeah.
Or right now.
Yeah. Yesterday is the proper answer.
Well, and that's not a simple question either, because if you we're getting pressure from San Antonio water system to go in the other direction, reduce watering, don't be extravagant, and so there's pressure. You got to be able to justify the watering when you're in the middle of a drought situation, like we are now too. So that's always. And then that also contributes or reinforces Mark's point about do it on the long term and consistent. When you're planting new trees, be aware of what is involved. You're gonna need, in our climate with the erratic rainfall and the heat and the changing weather. You gotta be prepared that we're going to have some drastic issues or stresses to deal with, and so be ready and plan on doing that. But it doesn't. It's just like the freeze, protecting from the freeze.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. And these stresses we're talking about now are even more difficult in terms of the planning to deal with them than the freeze damage.
Yeah. So a lot of times it starts with choose the right tree.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We can talk with you about this if you'd like some more questions answered, or you can give us a rain report or tell us what's going on in your garden, what you're worried about. What can we help you with, or what do you want to brag about a little bit? 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
There's another.
And welcome. Where? Another what? Not just the plant she's getting, or the
big
the cyclamen? All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. All right, our roving reporter out in the butterfly fields is Lulu, and she has had to email her stuff in, and she has 3 monarch butterflies hanging out in the yard among a ton of queen butterflies. She needs to take like a picture, like a video. They are only drinking nectar from tropical milkweed. It's not surprising. Oh, although she has one of those giant ones too.
Yeah, but the giants. In my experience, are the flowers are not a great nectar source.
This is interesting.
But the foliage is a great source for the caterpillars.
Okay, we're getting kind of a. Lulu's given us a picture of these monarchs that maybe we haven't had before. The monarchs do not like the queens whatsoever. They dive bomb the queens and push them off the tropical milkweed. It's pretty funny. Along with that, a red paper wasp and a huge red wasp have been fighting over who is going to grab my monarch caterpillars. Aw, had to step back from planting milkweed so I wouldn't be stung. Goodness. So she's betting on the red wasp will win that battle, but.
Well, that surprises me. You know, we traditionally hear that the predators, wasps, and other predators ignore the caterpillars because of the toxic chemicals in their interior. But we've heard that we've heard those reports from some from our authors too, that that's not always the case. That generally most of the predators pass them up, but not all of them do.
Thank you, Lulu. Thanks for the report. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Or if you've got a rain report, you can email me, Milton, or a butterfly, a monarch report, Milton@KLUP.com, Milton @KLUP.com. What else do we need to cover on today's show? Make sure people know. Did you see anything new out there in the veggies?
No, but I did find the spinach, yes.
All right.
So Calvin was going, well, what's the spinach like? I'm going, spinach? Yeah, I think there's spinach out there. Yes, we have leafy. It's that time of the year that you should be focusing on your leafy vegetables. So spinach, Swiss chard, collards, lettuce. We have multiple kinds of lettuce out there. Curly top, red top, different kinds. We have some Asian varieties out there. What else? What else is leafy?
Well,
or Thanksgiving.
We had a question about the specifics of the spinach, and they're in 4-inch, 3.5-inch containers, and they're not in the 6-packs.
Correct.
And they're not identified as what selection they are. But they look good.
Yeah.
And look ready for action, just like Mark said. So they're available.
All right.
Right on the end.
The end there, the first table.
And I have a kind of a question about that in a minute. But Bert is on the line, calling us from Michigan, the tropical state of Michigan.
Subtropical.
Oh, hi, Bert. What's happening?
Hello.
How are you? Good. How you doing?
I'm sitting here in my swim trunks. Well, not really.
I don't doubt it.
I don't think we want to hear any more, Bert.
Don't send pictures, Bert.
In the first hour of the show, I heard you talk about the Tycoon and how old it was, or how long it has been on the market.
Yeah.
And I remember growing Tycoon when we were in Texas, and that's at least 10 years ago. So I looked it up, and then plantanswers.com says it was the 2011 rodeo tomato.
Oh, my goodness. It's been that long?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
13 years.
Okay.
Yes. And it was supposed to have nematode resistance and more things. And it did really well.
Yeah, and then it was one of the things that the commercial folks appreciated was that it was thrips.
Thrips.
Yeah, one of the flying insects was just overwhelmed. Was moved by the wind and overwhelming the commercial crop and the if I remember right that it was resistant to that force and kind of saved everybody and moved into everybody did a lot of brand switching so that they wouldn't have to deal with that problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bert, do you have a favorite tomato of all the ones? Well, you're kind of got two different things going.
The BHN 968.
Okay.
And something else we find here. I forgot the names. And I was wondering why don't the producers still produce the heat resistant or the heat setters? Because when I was there, there were at least 4 or 5 different kinds of heat setters. But now there's nothing. BHN 968, I hear, no, we can't get the seeds. Why do they stop that? It's a lot of work. I know takes a long time to produce. But why?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have my ear to the industry. But I remember heat wave, heat setter, or heat something else.
Anything with heat or sun. Was there sun master?
Yeah, that was, and those were the ones
master.
we would do in the fall. i.e., we plant them in August, and when it really mattered.
Yeah.
So, you don't see those anymore. And I don't know why. Again, what is it again? BHN. 968 was.
Oh, B. Is it B?
B.
B. Okay.
Was one of the best cherry type fruits or setters around.
It's also one of the most expensive seeds.
Okay. Therein lies the answer. So I mean, but it was the best. I mean, popularity, disease resistant to me, taste. But we couldn't find any. But as Calvin mentioned, the seed was expensive to produce.
Yeah, but if it's a good product and you can sell it as well.
Yeah.
I had them, but now I haven't had them for years.
Yeah.
But I keep the seeds from the tomatoes that I produce, and they change over time. But still, after years, I still get a pretty good tomato. Although they develop a little point at the bottom, at the blossom, you call it.
Yeah. They don't. In other words, they don't come true every year.
Oh.
So.
No. That's right. Yeah.
All righty. Cool. Thanks for the report. I didn't realize it was that many years ago. It doesn't seem like it was that many years ago.
2011.
Yeah.
Well.
Wow.
We were still.
Milton, you don't look a day over 18.
No. My hair was still brown and my teeth white. You let me know. Okay.
All right. You enjoy that subtropical weather, Bert. Yeah. Don't get too much sun out by the pool. Okay.
I will. Well,
bye-bye.
Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 210-308-8867. I wonder, I did Google, first off, it's sold out, so I won't do the thing, but the hybrid BHN 968 seeds, eek, I think, 0.5 M. What is M? Is that millim something?
Well, usually it's per million. 5 million.
Oh.
But I don't know what that means in regards to
okay. Yeah, it was
but if it's too small.
Oh, no, you're right. It's M equals 1,000 seeds.
Yeah.
So 500 seeds is $140.
Yeah.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I regret not saving the seeds from those and just eating them.
Well, some people are saved.
I know. I bet if some people did a call out, they could. They would still be. Would they still be growing them from seed?
Yeah, but as Bert noticed, over a couple of years, you start losing all the effects. So he said they're getting pointy on the bottom. I'm like, okay. They don't come true. It's not like citrus. Citrus comes true.
Okay. Let's take a quick break. While we do, you give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Back after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Do peppers come back true? Or if it's a hybrid, it'll eventually, like the Rio Grande Gold, which I missed. That was a good pepper.
I think it's similar to, we could ask Trace. He probably knows, but I think it's similar to tomatoes.
Yeah, Trace, I don't know. I don't know if you want to come up. No, I'm just teasing. Go ahead.
What is on the peppers? Do they come back to true with the seed, or do they hybridize, or what do they do?
I would think the pekins and patines probably would. I'm not sure about the others.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of cross-pollination to change something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a good point though, because the chili patines, they're in my neighborhood, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, and they seem to not be much variation.
Right.
But that may be how Pekin became patine.
Oh, maybe so.
Over time.
Yeah, what can I do with all the little... What are the small ones that grow up?
Both those.
What's that?
Pekin and patine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let the birds eat them.
You want to use them, put them in a taco.
Okay, just pop them off and pop them in the taco?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Cox.
You could put them in could be part of your tomato.
Ooh.
Although they taste so good without that.
I wonder if I could roast them.
I'm sure you could.
You know, in Louisiana, the little bottle of sport.
Yeah.
So Mr. Cox used to make a variation of that using the chili patines.
Really?
Yeah. And we put it on our tacos.
Oh, is that recipe anywhere?
No, it's in Paul's head.
Oh, okay.
Well, and and I apologize for not remembering his name, but the master gardener that had a nursery, and he raised a lot of the bougainvilleas.
Yeah.
He would keep a pocket full.
Yeah, and just chomp them.
Yes, at lunch, every bite would go. Chili patine would go in there.
How hot are
Sounds like
chili
my kind of
patines on the hot scale?
That's personal preference, sir.
I know, but if you had to compare them to jalapenos,
you might cry.
There was some variation, wasn't
they're
there?
much hotter than jalapeno.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Some jalapenos are hot. Some jalapenos are not.
Yeah.
So pretty much all chili patines are hot.
Okay.
So the young man, the story, the young man from Michigan who thought he thought he had hot stuff growing up because he worked in the fields and everything. Came down to San Antonio, and the Parks and Recreation workers were going, "Hey, have you ever tried these ones? Oh man, these are little. Yeah, let me get a handful of those."
They'll pack a punch.
And then the next thing to know, this young man was on the ground requesting that the hose be put into his mouth.
Do you know this young man?
Yes, I do personally.
Yeah.
See him every day, right?
Yeah, every
in
day.
the mirror.
I'm looking
So that is a true story, yes. And so to answer your question is, yeah, it varies. Some chili patines are hot and some less so.
When will we... there's a recipe. Wow. So 30,000 to 60,000 Schofield units?
Yeah, okay.
As hot as Cayenne.
Yeah.
When do peppers start coming in? Is it spring?
There might be a handful of peppers available in March, but generally April is...
Okay.
They like the nights to be warm.
Oh, gotcha.
And March can have some very cool nights.
Ooh, I have a couple questions while I got all these brains in front of me. One is, so you know my geranium that I kept going through the heat of the winter?
Yeah. The heat of the winter?
I'm sorry, the heat of the summer.
Confuse me.
That was the...
Fantasia.
Thank you. Okay. So now I should probably do something to it so it comes back and...
like 2 months ago, you should have cleaned it up and started fertilizing it.
Okay, I can still fertilize it.
Yeah.
Can I clean it up, I guess? It's not too late.
So Sandy's all look pretty good now, with the exception of one. All brand new leaves, some blooming. And I don't know if they'll materialize.
Some are blooming,
but
really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if they'll actually materialize, but I did find some 4-inch geraniums available this week.
Okay.
So we'll see if they show up.
Anything else fun coming in?
Me, 5 days a week.
Besides that, because you're fun, sure.
Onions sometime this month, huh?
Onions will be sometime in mid-November. They're already ordered,
Okay.
so whenever they can, big enough and they can harvest.
What about potatoes? Any word on that?
That's always like a January, February thing.
Yeah, February 1st is a good target time to grow them, but
those are
sooner
ordered
the
too.
better.
They are ordered.
Okay. So for that particular plant, because it does have a lot of brown on it,
okay,
but it has a lot of green too.
Okay.
So I'm just going to cut it from the top down and let it come up, or I'm going to cut.
Yeah.
Got to go in and surgically cut all the brown, or
yes,
surgically sounds good.
Okay, so get rid of the brown, keep the green.
No, I'm just saying it. Just keep the brown, keep the green, take the brown. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just was trying to make it easy. Just
leave
like,
the brown. Take the
cut it all. Let it all come back.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
What are you going to do with your begonias?
No, don't even talk about them. They're still doing well.
I know it.
They look great.
But it's time.
The feral cats like them too.
It's
I
time.
don't think I can do anything with them.
It's time, Milton.
Okay.
There'll be the sound of taps at midnight when you get rid of them.
We have one plant that we protected that's still trying to bloom, and it's huge. It's now probably it's in a container, which is probably not healthy for it, but makes it easier to take in the house. It's probably now 5.5 to 6 feet tall, really bushy, and that's fire spike. But is that still going to bloom, or have I missed my fire spike?
Oh, no, that'll bloom.
Yeah.
Still? This year?
Gosh, yeah.
It's trying to. There are some little blooms and buds on it. But
now, you're not talking about fire bush. You're talking about fire spike. Right?
Spike, yeah, the one that's...
Yeah.
In the shade, the blooms fiery red.
Because the fire bush is still... it depends on your plant and how much sun it was getting. But they're still doing well.
But that first freeze, they'll be by.
Yeah, okay.
It's adios.
Well, we'll take it back. We'll take it in the house again.
Okay. But the fire spike, actually, they'll do okay. You don't.
They do all right in the house, even.
Yeah, they do. Oh,
they make a nice house.
Generally,
honestly, yes, it would.
Yeah.
If it will stay as green as it is and as full as it is, it would make a beautiful house plant.
They have to. They usually adjust, but they recover and look pretty good in the house.
Okay, well, maybe for the winter we'll take
reduction, get it shaped up, and then bring it in.
Okay, and this is, I shouldn't even ask this question because it's going to make me look bad.
Worse, you mean?
Yeah. So should I trim back that Malabar spinach?
It's up to you. I would just let it.
It's now vining and crawling over stuff.
Nature will do it for you.
Okay, no, I just meant because it's gone.
Well, just
it's beautiful. It's crawling through everything, and it's
That's like coral vine.
Then you would leave it. Then you would leave it. Because,
really?
What value are you getting out of it? If it's attractive, then you just let it go.
Yeah. Well, I should eat it, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Well, you could eat it.
Yeah.
You can eat it right up to the time that Mr. Freeze comes and disposes it for you.
I think it has lots of little seed pods on it.
Yeah, they're trying to form seed pods.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the only...
The foliage, the leaves are smaller when they're forming those seed pods, but they're
they
as far as I can tell, they still taste good.
Yeah, they'll be smaller and then probably a little thicker. So
okay. I had a spinach recipe I saw. Maybe I can try it with Malabar spinach too.
Yeah.
They're good on sandwiches. That was great when we did that.
That was a great. Did you discover that, or did somebody else discover it and tell you?
I think someone may have told me, and I tried it, and it was really good. But they're really chewy and full of...
they're juicy.
Juicy, yeah. They kind of give it a moisture.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What did you use for the main ingredient?
I think either turkey or ham, and then Malabar.
Uh-huh.
So it was like a BLT, but with Malabar.
Cheese? You think cheese would work well?
Sure. Just a cheese sandwich, or like cheese and...
Cheese and the Malabar.
I don't know. You don't think they're complementary?
No, I'm still going back to the meat. So tomato should be incorporated somewhere.
Ooh, yeah, that tomato.
So for the Malabar spinach and tomato.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Maybe a light mayo.
Okay.
A Dijonais, maybe.
What kind of bread am I going to use?
Well, something a little sturdy.
Okay.
Because it will be soppy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's all I have going on in my garden. And, yeah, those whoppers are going to be heartbreaking. I'm going to basically keep the whoppers until they go away.
Okay.
I can't cut them back.
Don't.
They put up with cats laying on top of them. They put up with a lot of stuff in those containers, and they're still going great. Great guns, still blooming.
Just wait till Mr. Freeze. Just let them go.
Well, I don't have the heart to pull them out.
Yeah.
But I almost cut them to the ground, you know. It's a compromise, you know.
So there's usually a lower layer of leaves. Mm-hmm. And I may cut back to those lower layers. And then in that opening space, some of these transition plants. Here, there, and everywhere.
Because I found covering them does not help.
Cyclamen is generally not called a transition plant, but
no.
But yeah,
that's what I do. I find a space for the cyclamen in there among what's the remnants of the bougainvillea.
I could fill it with pansies or.
See, I'm thinking the snaps on that, so it will actually go over where you cut.
Okay.
And not make it such a barren place.
All right.
Except the snaps are sun lover and the begonias are not.
Right. Good point.
Cyclamen and the plumeria
or if you have a pinta running around somewhere.
Uh-oh. All right. I will tell you what I decide to do, but maybe I will try the whatchamadoodles, the snapdragon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Calvin pointed out, snaps are or bougainvilleas are usually shade.
Oh.
And the snaps are usually sun.
These are pretty much half and half.
Okay. Begonias are shade.
The shade, yeah.
Okay.
Or
petunias. Mark's favorite.
Yeah.
Well, of the winter annuals that tolerate shade pretty well, pansies are pretty good at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we have a great selection here in Milton.
Yes, we do. I mean, just looking
out. We have
out.
like 2 tables.
They're pretty, too.
One each side of the radio dial.
I like the ones with the dual colors. Those ones with the faces, is that right?
Yeah.
Where they have like a purple surrounding a...
David reminded me, he used to call them monkey faces. I call them old man faces. Because they look like bushy eyebrows and a bushy mustache.
I gotcha. Yeah, but they're pretty out here. I bought some. I just need to plant them earlier in the week. Anything else we want to talk about? Calvin.
Well, talk
about.
Oh, got another.
Oh, you got
email from Lulu.
Uh-oh. Is Lulu unhappy with me?
Smart.
Did I say too much?
Oh, she was talking about a caterpillar, one of her caterpillars, I guess one of the monarch caterpillars in the frog fruit. Huh.
Okay.
That's unusual. Must be getting ready to go into its chrysalis.
Oh, and I was going to say, and Lulu could do some research on the origin of chrysalis and the origin of chrysanthemum. That chris is from the same thing. Because she's a teacher. She's
a teacher.
She would like that. Hope she doesn't come back like my other teachers and say, Milton, why don't you look that up yourself and learn?
Maybe she'll come back and call us, what did she call us? Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
Yeah, Louie. I'm Louie, I guess.
Something like that, yeah. So, Lulu, will you look that up and find out if they're the same root, I guess, or origin of chrysalis and chrysanthemum are similar? And Calvin, I was going to say, Calvin, talk about the thing coming up. It's the last time we can talk about it before.
Okay, it's on the 9th.
Actually, that's not true. We can talk about it next Saturday, too. But but go ahead.
That's right.
No?
Yeah.
Should I go ahead or not?
Yeah, please. No.
Saturday on the 9th at 6 p.m. at the Eco Center over there on... what is it, Mark?
1802
Main Avenue,
Main and Locust.
It's in there at the San Antonio Area College, and everybody that shows up there will give them 3 seeded milkweed containers, and your responsibility will be to report on the germination, and for those that are already germinating on any success or lack of success you've had with transplanting them. And that's it's a free program. The milkweeds are free. That's again on Saturday the 9th at 6 p.m. Call 210-382-4455 if you want more information or if you want to register to get a seat.
Okay, one more time
free
on the
program.
Number. One more time on the number.
210-382-4455.
Yeah. And these are one of those things where, there's spaces now, but San Antonio is notorious. If this is of interest to you, if the time fits well, then don't wait. Just call the number this afternoon. Get in, because it'll probably get pretty, if not full,
right.
pretty close to full.
Bring your gardening buddies and your spouse or your family along, too. It's a good program. We have a great response, and it's fun to work on figuring out what it takes to be successful with the milkweed with the monarchs.
All right. I think we are, there we go. Music's up. We're just about out of time. So thanks to Mark and Calvin doing a great job. Al back at the station getting all your calls on the air. And, of course, thanks to you for listening. I'm Milton Glueck, going to say goodbye for today, but you join us next Saturday back here at Milberger's, 1604 on Boulevardy Road for Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.